And what we're doing, we got our coupe all painted, and what we're doing is we're putting our rubber floor mats down. Now the easiest way to do this is make a paper pattern, okay? Because the same pattern that fits on the left side also fits on the right side, so all you got to do is turn it over, and then you'll have the right side ready to go. The most important thing of putting this rubber mat down is that all your lines are straight, because if you look at this, okay, the pattern actually runs at an angle, okay? It looks like it's straight, but when you get it on there, okay, it's at an angle. If you notice, this here goes, if you flip it over, see it goes on the other side. And this thing here runs at an angle this way. It's not really straight, okay, if you look at the cut on it. And also, where the door goes, it's round going this way. It has a curve. So the most important thing is to make sure that all your lines are running straight. And what I do is I make sure that all this is at a straight, nice straight edge. I take my pattern, and I lay it down on the back of the rubber floor mat. And I line that up, okay, to where the lines are going to run straight. We know that this is going to be our starting point. If you look right here, you can see that that's going to be a crooked cut. And I line it up perfectly straight, okay? Then I go ahead and trace that out. If you look right there, I don't know if you can see that. And then I take my knife and I go ahead and I cut that out. And if you watch here real quick, you'll see what I'm talking about by the lines coming out straight down that line. I tend to make mine a little bit longer, and if you look right here, the body lip, what I'll do is once I get it all glued, then I'll come back and trim it off. And I also trim my rubber out in nice aluminum molding, which you can paint black, or you can leave it cut out at an angle, okay? If you look real close, you can see where it curves, and you can see that the lines are all running in a straight line instead of in an angle. So when I put it up on the car, okay, it's going to fit in there. It's going to be a nice fit, see? Just like that. Now I'll come back and trim this corner out after I glue it, okay? And I always want to start at this point here, up in the front, and work my way to the back corner, see? Now, like I said, I'm going to trim mine out so the edges don't have to be perfect. I'm going to put a 3/4 inch trim plate across all the way around, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And that really finishes out your car really, really nice. So if you look again, you can see that all the lines are running in a nice straight line instead of in an angle, because if you just put your floor mat up there and line it up, you're going to end up with all your lines in your rubber running at an angle like this, and it's really going to look tacky. So the next thing that we're going to do is we want to glue that down, and what I do is I flip it over and I make sure all my surfaces are nice and clean, free of any dust and debris. What I use is your basic, everyday, the original contact cement. Now this is for lamination work is what it's for. What you do is I'm going to put a thin tack coat on the rubber, and I'm going to put a thin coat on the running board itself, and I'm going to let it dry for about 15 or 20 minutes. And then once that is thoroughly dry to the touch, where you don't have no stickiness at all, we'll flip it over and it'll bond super tight and never come apart. So let me get those glued on there. We'll come back and I'll show you how to... Okay, once your glue has dried to a nice tacky surface, you're going to have 2 people to do this job to start it out with. So if Minnie can come over here in that corner right there and hold that edge. As you see, we're just holding the edges. We're going to roll it over, and Minnie is just going to hold it there where I start it on the car. You can tell when it's dry. You're in the way of the camera. Okay. Don't let it touch the car, because you want to start it at the front of the base. And I don't know if you can see this at the angle that I'm doing this. Okay. And once you start the front of it, go ahead and hold it against the body without scratching it, and run your rubber nice and easy down the edge, just like I'm doing here, as you're stretching it. Now, this is the molding that I'm going to use, okay? You can purchase this at any one of your local hardware stores, or at Lowe's. And what that is, that's threshold molding. That's 3/4 inch wide, okay? It's got beveled edges on all sides. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some 45s, or as close as I can, right here. They don't have to be perfect because we're going to match them up. So from that point there, I'm going to measure out over. And if you notice, this is a lot easier to do with the door off. That's why I'm doing this now. And I'm going to go ahead and mark, very lightly set the chrome down, and I'm going to mark my end where I need to cut it off. And then I'm going to come back, I'm going to draw a 45, okay, 45 angle. So I'm going to cut that angle off there and that angle off there. Then we'll screw that down onto the car, and we'll go ahead and make our end pieces, roll it around, make our 45 there and 45 there, and then we'll put the bottom one on last. Let me get this done. Okay, if you look down here, you can see that putting the aluminum threshold molding on the running board rubber really sets it off and details it out very nicely. That's an easy in-home, at-home operation. Now, you could do it several different ways. That's how I do it, and it looks really nice. It gives it a nice clean look. Just one more tip from Pete of how to fix up your Street Beast car and add more detail to it. Okay? It looks a lot better than the plain Jane simple rubber. It cleans it up, and it's a very easy procedure to do. It takes a little while to put it on, but it's a real nice job when it's done. So this is Pete, SouthwestRodandCustom.com, home of the Street Beasts. You can also call me at 972-420-1293. Be looking for the rest of our upcoming videos on finishing out our 1934 Ford Street Beast Coupe.